Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing the new hotness, the 2019 Rolex Oyster Perpetual GMT Master II. This is the 126710 BLNR, the new black and blue. It replaces the prior 48-hour power reserve 3186 with the Oyster bracelet, now with the 3-day power reserve 3285 with the Jubilee bracelet. A timepiece that still wears well on a 16 centimeter circumference wrist or smaller, 40 millimeters in diameter, and Rolex's highly anti-corrosive proprietary 904L steel. The timepiece is reasonably thin, all things considered. I measured this example at a very agreeable 12.1 millimeters thick, which means you should be able to slide this underneath any dress cuff, realistically speaking. The timepiece measuring two different dimensions, lug to lug, depending on how you gauge it. 48 millimeters lug to lug on the nose. If you just include the case, there is a little bit of swelling, though not as much as with the Oyster bracelet. With the end links of the bracelet, this is a 49.5 millimeter watch across the wrist, and the spacing between the lugs still 20 millimeters. The watch wears a little bit lighter on the wrist than it did with the Oyster bracelet, and I have to say that the Jubilee, or I should properly describe it as the Super Jubilee, as this is the new solid link architecture, really does feel like a sports bracelet. I think we can say that with all solid links, with the substance of a modern Rolex bracelet, there's no need to distinguish between the sporting aptitude of the Oyster and the Jubilee. This is a wonderfully vented bracelet that actually gives you more apertures for venting the wrist than you would get on the 3-link Oyster bracelet. The Jubilee also gives you more comfort as it's more flexible with its many small links. And it should be mentioned that while the Jubilee was never available on the previous generation of the GMT Master II, up and until the arrival of the Super case, the Jubilee was always a small, low take rate option on the original GMT Masters and GMT Master IIs. So this is a well-established historical trend that's been revived by Rolex. Staggered link alignment, staggered link size. You have the satin finished outer shoulders, polished outer faces, all of the removable links fixed by screws. The clasp is polished entirely inside, which denotes it as a premium Rolex clasp. It's also one of the more serious sporting clasps, as it features, yes, that straight through polish, but more significantly the double locking system with the clamshell, and then you can see the pivot for the vertical trigger internally, as well as the beak and the hook system that lock it once before you lock it again. Now, just because this is the Jubilee doesn't mean you lose the Easylink system. It's still present and correct, and you hear it clicking. You can use that to add or subtract length, about 5 millimeters, without removing anything. Now, there are also divots inside the clasp, and you can see Rolex in recent years has also added little tracks to make it easier to use your strap tool to guide the spring bar into those divots, so you can change the anchoring point of the bracelet. So there are 3 different ways: removing links, Easylink, and the divots to size this bracelet. Jumping back to the case, you can see not a whole lot has changed here. The Super case arrived in 2005, and it's the rule, not the exception. It's still with us. Sheer sides, though beautifully black polished with squared off lug ends and a satin finish on the lug hoods. You can see that the junction with the Jubilee bracelet is nicely integrated, but it's not quite as visually massive as the old Oyster style, and I actually think this is a bit more elegant. You can appreciate that the bezel has not been changed, as Rolex did not want to mess with success. First introduced in 2013, the black and blue has many nicknames. I just think it's a cool looking bezel, and remember, prior to the 2013 BLNR, this was never used as a color combo. It was also the first use of blue on a Rolex Cerachrom bezel on the GMT. So you have that blue and you have the black, and then you have platinum fill within all of the wells for the indices and the numerals. Now, it is a bidirectional rotating pilot style bezel, so what you want to do is you want to set that blue GMT hand to Greenwich Mean Time, and having done so, you can use the GMT offset of your airport or port of destination in order to calculate 3 time zones temporarily on this dial. So you have the ability to set the 24-hour hand, which makes 1 circuit of the dial per day, and the local hour hand independently, and you can see that to good advantage. You can even set the date in either direction as you cross the international date line. There is a hacking seconds or stop seconds function, so you can set the watch precisely, and the timepiece features a black lacquered dial with white white gold hands and white gold indices, featuring Rolex's Chromolite lume, the better to glow blue at night, but also, thanks to the white gold, avoid tarnish in any light. The white gold will never tarnish, it will never oxidize, it will never stain or fade. Underneath the case back, more new hotness, the Rolex caliber 3285. It's a dual-time movement now with a 70-hour power reserve instead of the original 48 from the 3186. Still 31 joules, it features Rolex's new Chronergy escapement and a thinned out mainspring barrel with a bigger mainspring internally. Those two features helping to boost the power reserve in Chronergy. Very precise, effectively Rolex's reinvention of the Swiss lever and its answer to Omega's coaxial system. You have a 28.8 beat rate, you have a COSC chronometer certification. Rolex then cases the watch up and recertifies it in-house to ensure that it meets the standard no worse as a fully cased watch of -2+2 per 24 hours. Hence a substantive basis for the superlative chronometer nomenclature. All of this 100 meters water resistant, free sprung with an overcoil. The watch is also blessed with a full balance bridge. That and the free sprung architecture make it shock resistant. The overcoil, handmade brigade profile at Rolex, allows the watch to better take and hold an accurate regulation in those multiple positions to earn the COSC certification. And the overcoil is Rolex's proprietary blue oxidized niobium zirconium alloy that they call Cerachrom blue, so highly anti-magnetic as well. This watch has the tech, it's stealth tech underneath that solid case back, but the timepiece upgraded inside and out and all new for 2019. If you like the old BLNR, you'll love the new BLNR. For those of you who are into movements, there's a little bit more to love on the inside of this one. See it and make it yours on the watch box. The 2019 GMT Master II by night.